right, so I've got questions, and luckily Rawan is here to give us an inside scoop. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, big one to start. What actually makes an influencer campaign good? Like memorable?
Honestly, when there's real alignment, we're looking at a bunch of different things. We're looking at things like whether or not the content that they create is high quality. We're also going to look at things like, does the influencer vibe with the brand? Do they fit with what the brand's goals and visions are themselves? And is it going to feel real and authentic rather than staged and forced?
Okay, love that. But how do we make sure the content lands? Like, how do we get quality?
We really want to focus on giving them a really concrete brief that they can look at. We don't want to overscript it and give them too much information where they're just overloaded and don't know what to focus on. We really want to make sure that it's clear and concise. Something that can really help as well is just giving them other content to refer to. It doesn't have to be from the same client, but just something you've seen in the past that you think would be really good and effective for the type of campaign we're working on.
That's so true. I totally agree with that. Now, what do brands tend to miss?
There's a couple of different things, honestly. First of all, one-off posts really aren't going to build trust among the influencers' audiences. We want to have long-term collaborations because this shows that the influencer is engaged with the brand and that they really are providing an authentic relationship with the brand and they actually care about the products or services that they're promoting. Another really big thing to consider is that follower count isn't everything. I think a lot of the time, clients are really starstruck by big numbers of influencers who have hundreds of thousands of followers, but those aren't always the greatest influencers to work with. We like to really focus on working with micro influencers because we're able to focus on those local and niche audiences.
You answered that beautifully. And how do we know it's actually working?
It definitely depends on your goals. Likes aren't everything. Look at the other forms of engagement on the post, like comments, shares, saves, and things like that. Really focus on what their audience is telling you. Sometimes it's really important to look at the comments and see how people are reacting, what their questions are, what do they think about the product or the service itself. And we also really want to focus on content that feels real. We want that authenticity to really come through in the influencer's content and not feel forced.
And that's all I've got. Thanks so much for your time, Rawan. Bye.